His Excellency Right Honorable Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda has recently taken over as the Prime Minister of Nepal. He is also the chairman of the Communist Party of Nepal. He is also given the credit of establishing the country as a democratic republic and served as its first Prime Minister 2008-2009. With these words, may I now request His Excellency Right Honorable Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda, Prime Minister of the Federal Democratic Republic of Nepal, to kindly deliver the much awaited keynote address. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Ministers, President and Office Bearer of Chambers of Commerce and Industry from both India and Nepal, senior officials from the Government of India, members of my delegation, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for providing me this opportunity to interact with the leaders of Indian business and industry. I have brought with me the captains of Nepalese business and industry as part of my delegation. Our message is clear that in the age of globalization, we can find better future only if government and private sector march together. I hope our business delegation will fully utilize the valuable time by engaging with their Indian counterparts in explaining business and investment linkages between the two countries. Dear friends, many of you are aware of Nepal's political transformation. My party led the 10 years long armed struggle from 1996 to 2006. It was a struggle against poverty, backwardness, and injustice deeply entrenched in our society for centuries. Thousands of people sacrificed their lives dreaming for a new Nepal, a developed and prosperous place where justice would prevail. Dream of new Nepal had two facets: political justice and economic betterment. After entering into the peace process, we spent the last 10 years in the process of political transformation. From armed struggle to peaceful, democratic, and inclusive political process. With the promulgation of the Constitution last year, we have been able to lay the foundation of justice-based polity. We are aware of the demands for further improvement in sharing socio-economic benefits. My government is committed to accommodate the demands in the best possible manner. While political process has started to take a course, economic agenda of New Nepal is yet to take a concrete shape. After political settlement, the economic prosperity is our sole agenda, for which foreign investment is vital. As politics is getting stabilized, law and order situation has been significantly improved. Nepal is therefore being a safer destination for foreign investment. When it comes to growth and development, India under Prime Minister Modiji's leadership is setting a great example, being on the top among major economics in receiving FDI. You are the favorite destination for foreign investor, and Indian investor have their investment in many countries around the world. My message to the business leader in India: if far-flung corners of the world can be your destinations, why cannot the next door Nepal? Nepal, though a small country, can be an attractive business avenue by which you have the market of 2.5 billion population in its two neighboring countries. Tell us precisely what we need to do for you. And your investment there, we are ready to listen and we are ready to reform. Let's make a common pledge. You commit to make Nepal your next home for business. We commit to create the best possible business environment for you. Dear business leader, in terms of policy orientation, Nepal is pursuing a liberal economic policy. Government is only a facilitator, and we see the multiple role of private sector as key actors, as innovators, as entrepreneurs, and as leaders in the domain of economic growth and development. Over the years, we have taken steps to promote trade, investment, and growth of the private sector. In our pursuit of growth and development, we have reduced tariffs, simplified tax regimes, and focused on the development and operation of trade-related infrastructure. You will find Nepal much ahead of many countries in offering attractive incentives for investment. Yet we believe more can be done to reform the investment regime. We are continuously working on this direction. Our parliament has recently endorsed the SAGE bill, Special Economic Zone bill. This provides strong incentives for industry, including liberal labor law. We plan to establish SAGE in major industrial centers of the country, most of which will be in the plain land next to Nepal-India border. We have made administrative procedures simple and doing business environment in gradually improving. Investment Board of Nepal, whose CEO is with us today, provides big investor all kinds of advices related to investment in Nepal, as well as one-door service and facilitation. We have favorable fiscal environment. Our tax slabs are low. There is no income tax on dividends and export earnings. We exempt tax, due, and fee on the key inputs used by an export industry. In this pursuit, similar simplified tax arrangement by India may support trade and investment for mutual benefits. We permit full repatriation of income earned from investment. The same rule is applicable to reinvestment. Foreign companies registered in Nepal can purchase, own, and sell land. We provide various sectoral specific incentives of various kind and scope. There is no discrimination between Nepali and Indian investor. Our law guarantees that no private industry will be nationalized. We are in process of ratifying BIPA signed with India. Double taxation avoidance agreement has also been signed. Public-private partnership is sought and promoted, including in large-scale infrastructure projects. We have abundant labor force, which is cheaper and reliable. Latest census shows that working age population has increased to 57%, which is high even from developing countries' standard. We have improved industrial relations, including through reform in labor law. Dear friends, the pattern of trade and investment in 21st century is shifting. Economics are integrating and production process is disintegrating. Value chains are on the rise, strengthening of which would be beneficial to both of our countries. As infrastructure remains at the core of economic development, we have given top priority to cross-border connectivity. Our cross-border infrastructure are improving. Railway connectivity is being established at 5 different points and modern integrated checkposts at 4 places. Both of our countries are working in concert to improve cross-border roads. Bilateral motor vehicle agreement has been signed and operationalized between the two countries to make movement easy. We have opened up almost every sector for foreign investment. This includes manufacturing, hydropower, tourism, services, IT, mining, and agro-based industries. Hydropower offers us a vast potential for development. Proper utilization of Nepal's hydropower resources could help transform our economic landscape. Our two countries can seriously work together to convert huge water resources into wealth. We have already reached 2 big hydropower deals with Indian companies. We have signed power trade agreement with India. We are encouraged the government of India is reviewing its policy and regulation to implement the free market provisions of power trade agreement. Transmission infrastructure is being strengthened. First double circuit cross-border transmission line is now operational and second cross-border transmission line is being developed. Tourism is another lucrative sector for investor. We are gifted with the beauty of nature and treasure of culture and civilization in which we are closely linked with India. We are receiving a larger number of tourists from India every year as pilgrims, vacationers, and business delegations. It is an opportunity to invest in facilities to cater to this growing number. Development of supporting infrastructure is essential to drive tourism industry. We are developing regional international airports at two prime touristic hubs of Pokhara and Lumbini, and more are in the pipeline. Investing in tourism sector will definitely be a wise decision. Agriculture and herbal processing is another area where we invite your investment. This is the viable because of varied altitude and topography available in Nepal. I am confident that today's interaction will help infuse much needed confidence among the prospective investor to move forward with the concrete business and investment proposal in Nepal. Before I conclude, I would like to share with you and that I have had the productive discussion with Prime Minister Modi ji and other senior ministers in the cabinet about expanding and consolidating economic and commercial ties between our two countries. We also discussed promoting bilateral cooperation for the development and expansion of cross-border connectivity in all forms. I am very much encouraged by positive response received from the Indian side. All we have to do is to capitalize this opportunity. I thank you for your patience and once again for this opportunity. Thank you. Thank you.
Art arisen from a multi-hued cultural canvas. Tradition and cultural fervor dating back centuries. And encircling them all, there's a magic that awes. Embrace your nation's brilliant human warmth. Watch Colors of India Sundays at 9:30 p.m. on Rajya Sabha Television.
Some of the facts that we have almost 28 million population, having GDP of around 21 billion USD. Economic growth was suppressed last year below 1%, which was particularly due to the 2015 devastating earthquake and also problem on cross-border trading and transactions. It has also shooted up the inflation price almost just below the double digits. In other fronts of the macroeconomic area, we are very much comfortable. Nepal has forex reserve of almost 10 billion US dollar. Likewise, we are concurrently in a balance of payment surplus, including the current account surplus. If we see the contribution, the biggest contributor into the GDP is our service sector, almost 52% contributed by the service sector. Second one is the agriculture. 1/3 of the total contribution has been made by the agriculture. Industry has only around 15%. Most of the sectors are open for foreign investment, almost 100%, except certain negative list. If we see the FDI top sources for Nepal, India at the top, second one is China, South Korea, USA, etc. For policies and certain treaties, we entered into double taxation avoidance agreement with Australia, China, Korea, Mauritius, Norway, Pakistan, Qatar, Sri Lanka, Thailand, and also with India. Almost 10 countries we entered into DTAA. Likewise, we are also having agreement on BIPAS for bilateral investment promotion and protection agreement with Finland, France, Germany, Mauritius, UK, and also with India. We have several treaties with India. We have historic economic ties with India. Nepal as a trade relation, particularly whether it's import or export or overall trade, almost 2/3 of the trade is with India. India is the biggest FDI contributor. For Nepalese national to enter into India, the visa is not required. Likewise, for all Indian national, the visa to enter into Nepal is not required. We are getting almost 4,000 crore of Indian rupees remittance from the human resources involved in India. We have several other facilities, our benefit, proximities, our borders with Sikkim, West Bengal, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, and Uttaranchal is very hugely populated and high volume market. UP and Bihar are the two fastest growing states here in India, which we share the border. Almost 58 flights are there on a weekly basis between Nepal and India. Nepalese currency is pegged with the INR. The current rate of exchange is 1 INR is equivalent to 1.60 Nepalese rupee. The pegging is not, the revision is not that frequently. After the establishment of the central bank in Nepal, it is only revised thrice. The latest revision was 23 years ago in 1993. We have privileged to have several Indian investors. Their presence in Nepal is very instrumental for the economic development of Nepal. Their involvement in energy and other infrastructure sector, in manufacturing and in financial sector is very remarkable. Government, considering the deficiency in infrastructure, government has identified certain sector as its priority sector for investment. Some of them are hydropower sector, road and transport infrastructure, tourism, agriculture, health and education, ICT, etc. Coming back to the power sector, based on recent study conducted by Nepal government, the demand forecast for 2030 is more than 10,000 megawatt domestic demand. Our practical potential generation from the hydropower is almost 43,000, whereby we are so far generating less than 1,000 megawatt. So ample opportunity in the generation side, as well as there is huge investment needed on the transmission and distribution portion, which is estimated the immediate investment of around 6.45 billion. If you see the power sector, its avenues for export, particularly India, size of Indian market, expected to be tripled by 2031. Nepal connected to major demand center in India like Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, etc. Some of the breakthrough in recent years on the power market, Upper Karnali and Arun 3, these are two major projects with 900 megawatt each, where the investment of around $2 billion has been committed, is under implementation. Upper Karnali is being developed by the Indian developer GMR, and Arun 3 is being developed by SJVN, Satlaj. Nepal government has signed project development agreement with these two projects, and the implementation so far is highly encouraging. We are also working on operationalization of the PTA, which is signed just 2 years before between Nepal and India. SAARC framework agreement on energy cooperation is also approved. Cross-border transmission line is also completed between Nepal and India, first transmission line, and it is a regular process being upgraded. To name some of the hydro project related potential project, we have several. Some of them are Lower Arun 650 megawatt with the peaking ROR, Tamakoshi 3 peaking run on the river 650 megawatt. Karnali Chishapani, it is 10,800 megawatt, it is a storage project. Sunkoshi storage 1110 megawatt. Likewise, we have the several projects on hand which can be materialized in a hydropower sector. Likewise, for the cross-border transmission also there are several corridors identified and the feasibility has been completed. Nepal government has also identified some special economic zone, particularly for the export promotion. Out of 14 identified shares, 8 zone feasibility has been completed. Out of them, 2 feasibility at the middle hillside and 6 are at the Tarai area. Among them, the feasibility and the construction, even construction of one of the shares has been completed, Bhairava. We have also planned to have urban transport solution. If we see the urban area like Kathmandu Valley and Viratnagar, Pokhara, Birganj, where the population is growing tremendously year by year. Valley itself, we have 4 million population, but if you see the transport and public transportation, it's totally haphazard. So government has already planned to have innovative mode of transport mechanism. Possibly the option could be BRT, monorail, metro rail, etc. For this, the private sector initiation or the foreign investment could be an instrumental. Tourism is another area of attraction for Nepal. The Vision 2020 for tourism is expected to have 2 million tourists by 2020 from 8,800,000 tourists right now. It is another big opportunity for the hospitality sector. We are hosting tourists. Top 5 countries. India is at the top. Second one is China. Third is Sri Lanka, USA, UK, etc. Major purpose of the visit, we found that the holidays, pilgrimage, trekking and mountaineering, etc. On the investment process or approving authority, any investor who is interested to invest in Nepal has to get permission depending upon the size of the investment. Yeah, definitely there are certain risks when we are looking into the investment at cross-border foreign countries. Such investment are being mitigated and trying to mitigate it through several reforms, through one window policy adopted, which is ongoing several reform, trying to have particularly one-stop shop with such agencies. For the political stability, political transition has been concluded. Country is also improving its risk profile, country risk profile, and there are several bilateral ties. On top of that, whatever cross-border or foreign investment took place, we are trying to make those documents or agreement internationally bankable documents with the specific approval from the cabinet or government. For currency risk, the Nepalese rupee is pegged to INR, so there is almost no currency risk. Practically, we can see that the presence of investors from India to Nepal, we saw those Unilever, Dahal, SBI, Punjab National. They have created and maximized their corporate value a lot. So, right now, the nation has taken its national agenda as economic prosperity, for which I can say that the Nepal is open for business for everyone. With this, I would like to thank and express my gratitude for your kind listening. Thank you all.